right, good morning. Welcome to the program. Yes, my name is Rose Blossom, and it's exciting to be here because it's Monday and today is the 9th of September 2024. You know, once we're in the Umba month, just know that we're wrapping up the section and of the year. And of course, you know, a lot of people are start planning their resolution. Next year I'm going to get married. Next year I'm going to give birth. Next year I'm going to be this. Next year I'm just going to be a better version of myself this year. Anyways, do know that Women's Corner starts every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. And of course, we have amazing guests to come talk to all women. And, you know, it's almost impossible to take out the women and to talk about women without talking about the children and of course the family. So because once you see a woman, you're seeing a full nation. Anyways, my name is Rose Blossom. You can join us on Facebook, on Twitter. We are live, and you can actually comment if you have questions for her on how to go about this. You can let us know in the comment section, and if you want to give her kudos, a thumbs up, it's very welcome. Anyways, before I introduce my guest, let's quickly go on a short break, and right after the short break I'll introduce my guest, and of course we'll start talking. Today's topic is the importance and the benefit of financial planning and budgeting. You can see it's very huge. You understand, we're supposed to just pick it one after the other, but while we are planning, we also have to budget, and we have to know the importance and the benefit of having both. So we'll be right back after the short break to discuss more. All right, welcome back. My guest is sitting pretty. She's very pretty. You know, pictures don't do justice to a whole lot of people, and that was the first thing I said the moment I saw her in the studio. Her name is Agatha Chikodi McMado. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you.
Same here. I'm happy to be here.
I'm looking at you right now on the screen, and you're glowing, you're flourishing.
Thank you. Thanks for the many compliments.
Yes, you're welcome.
The Lord's doing.
Yes, and it's marvelous in his eyes and our eyes too. Yeah. Okay, my first question I'm going to ask is, how can people actually make it? In fact, let's do it first way. You know, I talked about, we're also going to talk about family coaching, but let's split this a little bit. We're going to talk about the definition of financial planning and the definition of financial budgeting, and at the same time financial coaching, why it is needful. So first, let me ask, what exactly in a very common way you can explain it for everybody to understand what financial planning is? What would you define it as so that we could understand?
Okay, before I start, I'll start with the name saying that says, if you fail to plan, then that means you're planning to fail. So financial planning is paramount, because if you don't want to be poor, you should plan to be very successful. So that's the basic and simple meaning of financial planning. Understanding your financial situation, setting out plans and strategic steps to achieve your financial goals, your financial responsibility. You know, we have so many responsibilities. We have to pay the bills, we have to pay our rent, we have to buy clothes, education, funding, afford our lifestyle, buy a car in this hard economy. So that's what financial planning is. Planning to be successful, planning not to be poor, planning to afford your lifestyle. Great.
So now, what is financial budgeting? Because I'm sure a lot of people just believe that once you plan, there's only the budget will just fall into place, but I feel it's a very total different thing.
Yeah, before we go into financial budgeting, we have to know that financial plan encompasses some fundamental elements, which involves the estate planning, the tax planning, the what's it called, philanthropic budgets, and investment, insurance. So if you understand that these things must have to be covered, that is almost like budgeting, financial budget. You're budgeting my finance for taxing, I'm budgeting my finance for making investments that will yield return on investment, I'm budgeting my finance to prepare for my retirement, and we'll have to go into each of them in details to understand the principles guiding each of
them. So now let's talk about financial coaching, which is very important. Why do you think financial coaching is? Because do you know a lot of people just believe, I just need a coach for my lifestyle, I just need a coach for relationship especially.
Yeah.
They don't tend to want to believe that there's a need to have a financial coach. So what is the importance and the benefit of having a financial coach?
As a professional, I believe that there is a huge importance in meeting an expert in every field. I'm a legal practitioner, I'm a solicitor, I'm an expert in compliance services, so I might not have the requisite and excellent skill to provide that financial planning services. The importance of having a financial coach is that this coach understands the elements, how to navigate the things that I will not see or anybody cannot see. They will have to advise you to follow this to be very, very successful in your
Whatever
plan,
you're
in your
doing.
financial plan. That's the importance of having a financial coach to educate you, guide you, and ensure that you're highly successful.
Yeah.
The coach sees what you cannot see. The coach drives you, gives you the ginger to achieve it.
And we actually need the ginger right now in this in this period that we are. So why is it crucial to have a plan in place? Yes, I know you've answered why we need a financial plan, but why is it actually crucial, especially in this uncertain economic time that we have right now? Why do you think it's very, very crucial and paramount that we must have a financial planning?
Yeah, it cannot be overemphasized because we women, we go to school. I remember those days that principal will ring a bell in our ear that women's education does not end in the kitchen. Yeah, we are supposed to be domesticated, know how to do the chores and all that, but we have to go the extra mile. Why financial planning is important is because it helps you be independent. It helps you ensure that you're happy.
Yeah.
How are you independent? If you understand that you need your own money, you need to be able to afford what you need. Many women these days, it's good you have a rich spouse, but there are unpredictability in relationships.
Yeah.
So many things are happening, which is life. In the event of unforeseen circumstances, some people end up being widows, some people end up in irreconcilable differences, and their source of income has now been diminished.
Yeah.
But if you have financial plan, it means that you're planning for unforeseen circumstances. You're planning to be in charge of your life. You're planning to be happy. You're planning to be independent, and you're planning to be a good support system. Now everybody's saying, what are you bringing to the table?
The table, yeah.
What's a woman bringing to the table? So if you're a good financial planner, as a woman, you know that you're bringing so much value.
Yes.
You might not bring it immediately, but when the time comes,
you definitely bring it. Oof, amazing. Now we already know what the importance of financial planning. Like you said, when you don't plan, then you plan to fail, which is automatic. And at the same time, you said something which is very important. A lot of ladies, not a lot of ladies, like the Gen Zs, the Alphas, believe that what is bringing to the table, my body, my everything, is okay to bring to the table. So it's good that you're actually saying this part, that even despite you having a rich man, he might not be rich forever. And it depends, even that man still probably even has a financial coach. But despite that, when he gets to the rainy period, I just feel like that is when
absolutely
you understand, that is when you now have to be a support system,
a helper.
Helper at that point, because it's not just chop money. So now, how can a financial plan help an individual manage, let's just say, the stress that comes with this economy?
Okay, that's fantastic. So financial plan, we said that is having that plans in place to be able to meet up with your responsibility. What are these responsibility? Understanding that the economy provides that you pay your tax. Now, it's an obligation. You can't evade it. You can't escape. The financial plan will help you set out this money, meet a tax expert, whether it's personal income tax, do your paperwork and set aside a particular amount of money for compliance. Now, estate planning, we know we are all working hard as powerful women, making money, buying assets. buying assets, investing. Now, do we want to have power over our estate when we are not there?
Yeah.
Estate planning is being in charge of who handles your estate in the event of demise. You know, when someone dies without will, the person dies intestate. It means that the person has died without a will, and the person's assets, belongings, investment is now subject to people that the person does not know. It might be someone that he doesn't even care about, he or she does not care about. But financial plan will help you make these decisions even after death. But you have a will under estate planning, whereby you have the authority to say who manages your assets, who benefits, who are your dependents, who enjoy your hard labor. That's for estate plan. Then retirement. Financial plan is very important. We know those days our mother ancestors believe that, oh, my retirement plan is investing so much in my children. By the time I sell all my land, sell my property, sell my assets, and spend it on my child, help my children get the real knowledge, then my retirement plan is that they will take care of me later.
Yeah.
Now civilization has come in to say, yes, that's a good plan, but we can't depend on our children. What if after investing all these things, they tend to do away with it the way they want? Now retirement plan will help you take care of yourself when you're old, when you're not now making that money. What plan do you have? What investment have you made that during your retirement you'll be able to still afford your lifestyle, be able to still feed, have your accommodation, take care of your medicals? Then we talk about investments. Financial plan will help you to invest wisely and have a high value investment, because if you don't have good money, it limits the kind of investment you have. So that's investment, then insurance packaging, then philanthropic responsibility. We all know that one day somebody from the village will
we ask for money.
Exactly. So how do I make plans for all these things? I'm not living by, I'm not winging it. I'm not just living by, oh, when I wake up anything. But know that there are times that people will need our help. People will solicit, please help me in church, in hospital, different areas. Okay, it can be part of your personal corporate social responsibility to perform charity, help the needy, and all that. So understanding that we spend a lot of money in different areas of life, and we need to be responsible. We need to take charge of them. We need to plan for it. We need to set all these things aside and not just spend anyhow. So that's
well, that's very deep. I want to bring it down a little bit to the below the average Nigerians, like let's say those that earn 100,000 a month. Now, all the things you're saying is more like, what's she talking about? Is it from the same 100,000 salary that I'm getting and no other income? And okay, let's assume some of them have some little business to support the 100,000 monthly. Now, how do you think these people can manage? Because to be honest, if you're having 100,000 a salary in this economy in Lagos State, you are definitely in debt. Because before the salary comes in, you have definitely borrowed from here, borrowed from there. So how can financial planning help people in the circle with their debt and of course the stress? Now I'm bringing it down a little bit.
Okay, this is an excellent question. This now shows the importance of having a financial coach, because a financial coach will understand different scenarios and customize the perfect plan for different income. So if the financial coach, an expert, says that, oh, you're earning 100,000, the person should be able to do the paperwork and say, from this 100,000 you should set aside this amount, maybe 10%, 15% or thereabout. Set it aside, do not touch it. Set this one aside for your savings. Okay, set this aside for your bills, for your rent. And the financial coach will play a great role in that aspect and ensure that even with your 100,000, you can still have independence and be able to be content and make plans to earn higher.
And exactly. You know, that's what I said. You know, when I totally agree, because if we're looking at just 100, I'm certain that when you have a financial coach, you'll be able to get, much more than that. You understand? Okay, so I'm going to ask another thing now. Based on the challenges that people face when it comes to financial planning, what are the common challenges that you think people actually face, and how do you think they can, go about this? Because some of them want to actually plan Some of them want to have a budget. Some of them want to have a financial coach. But there's this challenge, and I'm sure you, as a professional in this aspect, you've made your calculations and found out that, okay, this is the most common problem, and this is how you can actually evade such problems. So what are the problems?
Okay, for me, the first challenge people will face in terms of financial planning is to earn the money, because they will say, it's not when I have the finance, when I have the money, the capacity, then I start thinking of planning. So the first challenge should be, how do I even earn a living? How do I make money so I can now start planning how to spend the money, how to have return on investment so that I can have more money, and how to achieve my financial goals. So the first advice is, try to have a skill. If you're self-employed, if you're a stay-at-home mom, your first part of financial planning is from the little savings you have, the little allowance you have, you start saving for the rainy day. You've started your financial planning. Then if you are you're looking at, okay, what should I do? You have to learn a skill, have a good skill, have a handwork, then start providing value, start providing services, start something. When you start something, you've conquered the first challenge. After you've started earning, then the second is to set apart some amount for savings. Then after you've set some amount for savings, then you now start understanding that there is still need to have your tax plan, your retirement plan, your budgeting, your philanthropic plan, and you have to set out an amount, not just spending as you get, but setting it out and planning for it accordingly.
Oh wow, beautiful. We're gonna take a short break now, but first I actually forgot to actually give a proper introduction of Agatha. Agatha is the founder of Agatha Legal Firms. She's a public speaker, and she's a business coach, and of course she's a legal consultant. So if you need to be consulted legally, you can meet her. And you want to have a financial coach too, she's also there. Alright, welcome back. We still have Agatha Chikodi Makmadu. Of course, she is a legal practitioner, and she's a business coach, a legal consultant, a public speaker, the founder of Agatha Legal Firms. And of course, we've said a whole lot, and I'm sure if you're just joining in, just log into your Facebook or your Twitter and type in Galaxy Television and watch, because you need it, especially with this economic spacing we have. Lord, and you know, some people, when you tell them, do you know with your 100k, do you know with your 70k you can still save, they'll be like, how? So this is why I had to bring her over, so that we can actually know that everything is possible if you put your mind to it. And we've talked about how you can manage your debt, how you can, you know, the financial tools you need to have, you know, the challenges that when you go through, you can actually have ways to, you know, maneuver and scale through. So in continuation, a lot of people have this habit of procrastination. A lot of people. How can they overcome this procrastination of a thing? Because some of them will say, I'm going to save. Now, sometimes what helps them is that some apps that, and they, you know, you can connect directly to your account that helps you to take a particular amount every month or every week. So that helps them to save, and they keep it for like 5 years, some 1 year, some 6 months, depending. But for those who do not want to do that, because some people are just scared, you know, what about if the app closed down, if the app, you know, one thing or the other. So for those who procrastinate, how can they help themselves get over it?
Okay, that's good. Procrastination is very dangerous. I'm going to use an example of what I'm doing, what works for me, because I'm an entrepreneurial lawyer. I run a business. If you're a business owner and you're an entrepreneur, I will advise that you separate your business money from your personal money. That will help you save. Then you have to pay yourself salary, because if you join everything together in terms of transaction. People ask for account details, you give them your personal account, and that's business money. You tend to see that you're dipping your hand into your business money.
Very true.
So you have to separate your personal fund from your business fund, and understand that your personal fund is yours, your little savings, while the business is a no-go area. So what I do is, for my personal fund, I have an app I can debit money and for the business as the founder, I don't have an app. So anything that will make me withdraw money, I either go to the bank.
And it's stressful for you.
Exactly. So that's another strategy, because I know that I cannot access it anyhow.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I'll advise business owners. Then for working class women, working class ladies and all that, then you have to have separate accounts, separate savings accounts. You send out some particular money. You can do a fixed account, because that one has return on investment. And then you have to look for a very reliable investment, because there's a popular saying that you don't make money by saving money, you make money by investing. Either invest in real estate, and there are so many real estate deals now that give room for paying by installment, having a percentage you pay monthly, and up to a stipulated duration, then you will now have ownership, exclusive ownership over that property. So you can look into that. But another challenge about financial planning and investing, you have to make sure that you do a comprehensive due diligence before you invest any money. In my practice, I've seen a lot of people fall victim of circumstance because they are trying to do financial plan and they fall into wrong hands. They say, okay, send me money, then pay this amount of money, then you have 10% in return, and they pay the money. When it's time to get their return on investment, even their capital and their return, they don't get it. Then they have to now start going to court to do debt record, dragging. They've lost everything, the time, and so it's a challenge. It discourages them. So as a business, as an entrepreneur, as a woman in business, or a woman that wants to invest or go into financial, don't be quick to go into any form of investment without comprehensive due diligence on that particular company, whether it's real estate company, whether it's an individual. If it's an individual that is saying, okay, please loan me let's say loan me 500,000 in 1 year, or in 3 months I'm going to pay you 700,000, 200. I'll give you 200,000 extra. Make sure it's well documented. Make sure it's well documented. So you can even do a collateral. Some people do collateral. In a formal institution, you can't go to the bank.
No way. You have to have a collateral.
Exactly. So if anybody is coming to you to loan money and you want to use it as your investment plan, your first step is, first of all, look at the person's capacity to pay back. Does the person have the capacity to pay back? One. Secondly, have it documented. Oral evidence though is enforceable oral evidence, but there is no substantial evidence. It can be said to be a hearsay, and you know, hearsay is not admissible. So have a paperwork, document it. I collected this amount, I'm going to pay this, and this is what I'm paying in return, and this is the duration, signed by the two parties. That's a good one. So whether or not anything happens to the person, your dependents can still have access to the money. Okay,
all right, that's a very beautiful one. I love this, but this procrastination brought out a whole lot of, you know, ideas, and how will I put a motivational speech which will help. It's not just for those procrastinating, it's also for those who want to invest. As you have said. Okay, so before we go, let me ask a last question now. How do we deal with unexpected setback? And that's one aside, and the other one is, how do you now celebrate your success? Like, how do you know that, okay, how do you measure the success of how you've budgeted, you've planned? I don't know if you understand the question. Now the first one is, how do you deal with the setbacks that come with, you know, when someone has a setback, you've been doing it, yes, you've been saving, you've been investing and all of that, but there's a setback. How can somebody deal with that? And how do you measure the success of your planning?
Okay, perfect. So setback, firstly, how you deal with setback is having a mindset that setback is a part of life and unforeseen circumstances is inevitable. So once you have that in mind, you have to make plan that, oh, this thing can happen. That's why we said financial plan is important for every woman, whether you're a rich woman, whether you're an average woman, you live on the mainland, whether you have let's say you have a sugar daddy that's very wealthy, you still need financial planning, because unforeseen circumstances is part of life. So if you're saving, you've set out a particular amount for rainy day, and that setback happens, you'll be able to weather the storm. You'll be able to weather that storm, because like I say, I use myself as an example. I'm a business owner. Sometimes the money comes in this particular month, and the next 2 months you might not have nothing, and you need to pay bills. You need to pay your employees. So how do I now get the money to pay them? That's why the capacity to earn is very important. How do you meet your goals so that you can be able to pay bills is that financial plan we're talking about. So we have to, every day, whenever we wake up, we have to, how do I make money legitimately? How do I provide excellent service? How do I sell? How am I gainfully occupied to be able to cater for my needs? That's what we are talking about, so that I can be able to my happiness.
Of course.
Anything unpredictability can happen in a relationship, and you now have to start paying the bills. If you have nothing, then and
let's be honest, without money, can you actually truly be happy? Like, you are hungry, you have not eaten, and you're supposed to get somewhere, so you have like this hunger in you, and you want to get somewhere. Such a person, if you just as much as let your breeze pass, like, I don't even know what to use, like, it's as bad as your clothes should touch him or her. She can flare up if she does not have control. He can flare up. Like I said, an hungry man is an angry man.
Absolutely.
So yes, most of this planning while we're here is so that you can be happy despite the situation that we are right now in Nigeria. But you've not yet answered, how can somebody measure the success of his financial planning? Like, when you're planning, how do you say, okay, yes, I think I'm successful now?
Okay, for me, how I'm able to measure my financial planning is when I'm able to afford what I need at a particular point in time. If I've set out a particular amount to pay my bill, and I'm able to handle my office rent, I'm able to pay my staff as at when due, I'm able to provide all my needs in terms of my financial needs, and I still have some kept for the rainy day. I give myself a
thumbs up.
I've done well. So being able to cater for those my expenses as I went due and have
another extra.
That's when I say, okay, I'm doing well. So that's how I calculate.
You give yourself the thumbs up and a tap at your back, like, yes, I've done well. I think that's a very good way to measure success. If you pay all expense for the month, and if you pay your staff, you pay your transport, whatever, you already have your transport aside, your feeding and all that, and you still find out that you have an extra. I think that's a good success story. Anyways, thank you so much, Agatha Chikodi, for calling. But before we let her go, let's quickly go for another cooking tips. Today I had to, make Chef Tolu give us a show of Naija assorted rice. Will I call it fried rice? I don't know, but are you feeling hungry? Okay, so let's quickly see this cooking tip of Naija assorted rice. We'll be right back.
Let's cook fried rice the Naija style. So you see, fried rice, because of the vegetables and all of that, have the tendency to go bad so quickly. So this basic pre-frying process is the real reason, is one major way why your fried rice will no longer go bad so easily. So having washed and drained the extra water, you preheat a bit of vegetable oil and then turn in your rice and allow it to cook just as I have. I put in onions, curry, bay leaf, thyme, and allow to cook. You ensure that you have to monitor closely so that it doesn't burn and stick up. Having cooked your rice, you set aside, and it's time to cook all your proteins and vegetables. Yay! So there's no limit to what you can actually add into your fried rice, so long as it's at home, right? And you're not trying to break the bank. So I had the spread of proteins. Yeah, so let's go. Meatballs. I added a bit of pork meat because it was available, a bit of goat meat because I had a few, And smoked fish, I just wanted to go orange because we were eating this at home, right? So cooked for a while, and then it was time to introduce all the veggies, the red pepper, the carrot, the green pepper went in. Fried rice can be cooked to your taste, right? There's no limit to what you can put into your fried rice, so long as it works for you. And then here I had a little bit of seasoning to the veggies, and it was time to introduce the veggies and the protein mix into the rice. You can also do that the other way around, but this is what I did, and it came out so good. Trust me, this rice was so delicious. And have a good mix. I mix, right? And then I served and paired with plantain. I hope you get to try this. Enjoy.
Sorry about that. Now I feel so hungry right now. Agatha, don't you feel hungry?
I feel hungry because I'm a foodie.
Oh wow, we have a foodie in the house. Okay, that's Chef Tolu. Tolu, I've already told you the day I will come to that house, oh Lord, and that your store or shop, eatery, restaurant, however it is, I'm going to, if I prefer the house so that you can do enough dishes, not the store. Anyways, that's it from Tolu, Chef Tolu. Thank you so much, Chef Tolu Fruity, for giving us that Naija assorted rice. You know, behind the camera, someone was saying that to cook this would take you like 15k. If you had done it in the Goodluck Jonathan era, it would have been nice. But now if you do it, EFCC will come for you. Anyways, I would like to appreciate Agatha Chikadi McMadu for coming. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed yourself on the show.
Absolutely. Keep it up. Do
Thank
what
you
you're
very
doing.
much.
Powerful woman.
Thank you.
Impacting her word.
Yes, women
Right
to
there.
women, we're always supporting ourselves. Thank you so much, my viewers, also for joining. It's been an amazing one with you. And of course, like I said, if you've missed this episode, you really need it in this time. If no matter how much you're earning, you can still make the plans for yourself. I will still always add, not everything you see that you want you buy. In fact, go for only what you need, not what you want. The bags, the shoes, the clothes, come on, you're not wearing rags, you're not, you're still looking good. I think you should do the very necessary things you need to do, because we don't know how the end of the year is going to be. We don't know how next year is going to be. So you want to be on the safe side, so you don't have to start running into debt and finding out that at the end of the day you are running helter-skelter looking for who to send you money. Urgent 2K. Even people that are asking for urgent 2K now, they know that they cannot ask for urgent 2K again. So you need that financial so you need that financial planning. Is very, very important. And if you want to get through to Agatha, let me know so I can share her contact with you, or Instagram page. Do you have an
Agatha
Instagram
Legal,
page?
yes.
Okay, Agatha Legal is your Instagram page.
Yes, and we're on Google Agatha Legal.
Okay.
See what we are doing there.
Great. So you can see what you're doing. You can actually reach to her directly now. So that's a beautiful one. Anyways, with this one, I'm wrapping up because